Hello everyone, welcome to the power hour session, that is the 6th power hour session of the botany, and in today's session we are going to discuss about organism and population, ecosystem, biodiversity and conservation. In that session we are going to cover all ecology chapters, and all ecology chapter are counts at least 10 MCQ in a NEET examination. To add to 10 MCQ means nearly 32 to 40 marks of class 12. So chapters are very easy to understand, but the score is very high. Like 32 marks or 40 marks in NEET is very important. So let's start with the organism, population, ecosystem and biodiversity. What we are going to discuss here, I am writing that for today's session, ecosystem, biodiversity, conservation and organism population, 8 to 10 MCQs according to the analysis of previously 3 to 4 years, and marks, if we are counting a marks, it means nearly 32 to 40 marks in a NEET examination. And this is 15th of April, 6th session of the botany. After that we are going to do a 2 more session on 22nd April 2025 related to the photosynthesis, respiration, and on 29th April sexual reproduction in flowering plant and living world. But for in today's session, what we are going to discuss, first topic for today's session is population interaction. This is the very essential important topic of the organism and population. Another one is the energy flow from ecosystem, that which pyramid is upright, which pyramid is inverted, and the MCQ regarding to that. And last subtopic is the loss of biodiversity. In loss of biodiversity, we are going to understand that every organism on that planet, on that earth, have its intrinsic value, have its importance. So those are the subtopics for today's goal, and we are going to start with population interaction. First slide indicate that there are 6 type of population interaction that we are going to study today, and the very first type is a mutualism. So on Facebook, you know that there are mutual friend. So what is mutual relationship? If 2 individual or 2 species are in a specific relation or in a specific interaction in which both species get benefit, means from species A, species B get a benefit, and from species B, species A gets a benefit. This is known as mutualism. Both species are benefited, that is giving a charge positive. If we are considering species A and species B, then species A is also positive, species B is also positive. That is known as mutualism, and we can say that mutualism somewhat like a symbiotic relationship. And in biological classification, we understood what is exactly symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic relationship is also same type of thing in which 2 organisms are interacting with each other, living together and get benefited from each other. The example is lichen, a symbiotic association between algae and fungi. Now second one is the competition. Now in competition, if 2 individuals in the interaction of competition, both species harmed. If they are doing competition for a same resource, it means they are going to attack each other and both individuals get harmed. So that's why during class we said that you guys in a competition, but not a competition like if anyone is scoring good, then it means you are going to put their hair down. Why you are scoring highest score? No, this is not a competition we are doing in a class. In class we are doing a healthy competition. We use the word healthy competition. Healthy competition in means, now in that exam if you are scoring 650, I am scoring 640, then in next exam I am going to score 670. You have to score 680, 690, that type of competition we need in the class. That's why we said it is a healthy competition. And in that session, we are not going to discuss a healthy competition. We are going to discuss a competition which is happen in a real life. That is, both species get harmed. So species A also negative, species B is also negative. Now third concept that is a predation. Third concept is a predation. In predation, one individual is a predator which is going to attack. Second individual is a prey on which predator attack. So one is the predator, one is the prey. Obviously, predator get benefit and prey is harmed. So one species having charge, that is predator positive, and prey having charge negative. This kind of relationship is known as predation. So positive for predator and negative for prey. Same way, if we are talking about a microorganism, now in broadly we discuss a predation in a broad concept. But when we talk about the microorganism, it comes under the parasitism. It comes under the parasitism. It means in the position of predator, there is a parasite, which is a small molecule. And in the place of prey, we have host. So like if I am saying I am infected by a bacteria called as Salmonella typhi. So Salmonella typhi is going to cause me a typhoid disease. So Salmonella typhi is a parasite and I am the host of that parasite. So that parasite get benefited from my body, that the nutrition they are going to absorb from my body, but they cause me a disease, that is a typhoid. So I am harmed and they get benefit. So one is positive, that is the parasite, and host in a negative. So that's why symbol species A positive, species B negative. This is a parasitism. Predation and parasitism. Predation and parasitism both have positive negative signs. One species get benefited, other is harmed. But there is a minute difference. In the predation, there is a predator and prey. And in case of parasite, there is microorganism involved, that is a parasite and host. This is a simple thing. Now, to another terminology, one is a commensalism and another one is the amensilism. One is the commensalism and another one is the amensilism. If we are talking about the commensalism, understood the thing, one is benefited, one individual get benefit, and second individual is unaffected, that is a neutral, no positive sign, no negative sign. One is benefited, that is a positive sign, and another one is a neutral. There is no benefit, there is no loss. This kind of relationship, unique relationship, is known as the commensalism, and the symbols for commensalism are positive and 0 for neutral. 0 for neutral. Now, understood the thing? Next one is the amensilism. Next one is the amensilism. In amensilism, one is harmed. One is harmed, it means a negative sign. And other is unaffected, that is the neutral. So symbolic representation is minus and neutral. So those are the symbols of interacting species. Now last line is very important, just note it down, because in NEET maybe they are going to ask you the question from that particular line. They are saying in predation, parasitism and commensalism means positive negative and positive neutral, the interacting species, those kind of interacting species, predation, parasitism and commensalism, are living closely together in an ecosystem. The species who are performing predation, who are performing parasitism, who are performing commensalism are living together. Positive negative and positive neutral are living close together. This is a very important line according to NEET point of view. So you have to highlight it with the help of star. This is what exactly a chart related to the population interaction. If you are understanding this, let's move towards the next topic, that is mutualism, commensalism, particularly with example. Now, first one is population interaction, predation, and in predation they are saying in a broad ecological context, if we think broadly, not narrow-mindedly, broadly, we are eating plants as well as non-vegetarian people eating animals. So if we are eating plant, if we are eating animal, it means we are taking nutrition from a living organism. They are living, we are eating them, so we are a predator and they are prey. If we think broadly, then they are prey and we are predator. So they are saying a broad ecological context, all carnivores, herbivores, etc. are a predator. Now, about 25% insect are phytophages. You know that in zoology, animal kingdom, or we can say that in structural organization, you understood the concept that insect or a kingdom, or we can say that phylum Arthropoda have 70% plus population. 70% plus population in kingdom animal, phylum Arthropoda, insecta. Now, out of those insects, 100%, if we consider the 100% insect, 25% insect are dependent upon plant for their food. What? Phytophages or phytophagus, that is depend on plant. So how many? 25% insect are depend upon plant. Now next point, if the predator over-exploit its prey, if predators start eating prey uncountably, continuous destruction of prey by predator, that is known as the over-exploitation, then the prey might become extinct. Because if we are over-exploit it, prey might get extinct. It result in the extinction of predator also, because predator and prey living in one interaction. If prey is completely destroyed or completely extinct from that earth, then definitely a predator which are depend on prey is also going to extinct. So therefore predator in the nature are predant. So they are saying predator in the nature are predant. Now herbivores and carnivores, they are giving a single slide, no need to worry about that. Now this is the important slide according to NEET point of view. From that slide, maybe in NEET examination they are going to ask you the question. Which kind of question? So question is the example of predator control prey. The example for predator that control prey. And example is very simple. Example, they are giving us that the prickly pear cactus. The prickly pear cactus. Understood the example? Highlight this, note it down according to NEET point of view. What they are saying in that particular example, they are saying introduce into Australia, this prickly pear cactus introduced into the Australia in 1920. Cause havoc by spreading, and later it was controlled by introducing cactus feeding predator moth. In 1920, the prickly pear cactus are introduced in a country named as Australia. But after some time, because there is no predator for this prickly pear cactus, the plant over-exploited in Australia. So to control the population of prickly pear cactus, there is an introduction of a prickly pear cactus moth. So moth, cactus feeding predator moth. After the introduction, ultimately the population of prickly pear cactus can be controlled easily. So this is a predator control prey population. Now, importance of predator. What are the importance of predator? Because we know that every individual have their specific existence on that earth. So broadly, we have to think that does individual have a specific existence, do not kill dog, do not kill cat, and all those things we say. But if the condition arises, like now I am in a class, I am recording my lecture or going live, and one person came with the knife and he is saying, I want to kill you. Then what is the option is available for me? I am not going to surrender, no? That please kill me, bro. No, I am not going to surrender. I am going to kill him with that marker because I have to protect myself. So Darwin say survival of the fittest. Darwin says survival of the fittest. So prey is important, but predator is also important. Predator is also important because this is the nature. Survival of the fittest. Now, a predator are used in the biological control method. Predator maintains species diversity, yes. Then example, predator, starfish pister in a rocky intertidal communities of an American specific coast. In an experiment, all the starfish were removed. In an experiment, they removed all the starfish. That is, the predator is removed. Because of this only, 10 invertebrate species within a year extinct. Because of this only, because we remove a predator, 10 invertebrate species within an year extinct due to the interspecific competition. So those are the importance of the predator. Now we are talking about the predator. Why not about the prey? Now we are talking about the prey also. How can prey protect ourselves from predator? Now for this purpose, there is a defense of prey species to lessen impact on the predation. One is a camouflage. One example of this is a camouflage. Camouflage is known as the cryptic coloration, or in some cases there is a poison development inside the body. Now, one example of camouflage is a monarch butterfly. Now this monarch butterfly is beautiful by looking, and before their adaptation, any predator is going to eat this. But now, because it highly distasteful to its predator bird, it is due to a specific chemical in the body, and it is acquired during the caterpillar stage on the time of larva development by feeding the poisonous weed. So it is completely distasteful. So sometime predator try to eat monarch butterfly. Now it is difficult because it is completely distasteful and poisonous in nature. So predator is not going to harm their life for that a simple monarch butterfly. By doing this, monarch butterfly saved their life. Now, what about this structure? If you are observing this, I am marking, this is a frog inside this leaf. If you observe this, this is the frog. If you are observing this, this is the insect. This is the insect. And this one is the monarch butterfly. It is clearly visible. But this is the leaf insect. This is the camouflage by grid frog. Now, those are the defense mechanism which performed by the prey for the protection from predator. Now, next slide. Sometime there is a specific structure, that is thorns, most common morphological means of the defense of plant like acacia, cactus, in the species like citrus. There is a small spiny structure which is present on the plant for defense mechanism from browsing animal. So many plants produce chemical that makes herbivorous sick. Example is calotropis produce poisonous cardiac glycosides. So cattle or goat Do not eat it like a nicotine, caffeine, quinone, strategy. Yeah, those all are secondary metabolite, which is produced by plant. Why? To protect themselves from predator, because those chemical react in predator's body. So example, etc are the defense against the grazer and browser. Grazer and browser. Now, in next slide, there is another terminology named as competition. Another terminology named as competition. So limited time, we are going to cover a competition little bit fast. Important topic we are going to cover today. It is a process in which fitness of one species is significantly lower in the presence of another species. One species, another species, both species have a one food or one resource. Now they are struggling like you guys. There are limited seats in a NEET examination, and for that limited seats, 25 to 26 lakh aspirants compete with each other. But believe me, out of those 25-26 lakh aspirants, 15 lakh aspirants are not studying in that level that they are going to qualify the exam. So competition becomes half, only 10 lakh aspirants. Now out of 10 lakh aspirants, 5 lakh aspirants have weak sections. Now 5 lakh aspirants, some aspirants have weak in 11, some aspirants are weak in 12 section. So thus 5 lakh is removed. You have competition with only 5 lakh aspirants. Original competition is between the 5 lakh aspirants, and seats is nearly 1 lakh. Let's assume. Now you have to beat a 5 competitor or 4 competitor to get one seat in GMC. Now this sounds good, right? But it is not easy. It is difficult. But your consistency, your determination, your continuous study will definitely help you to achieve your goal. Okay? So now, what is competition? Interspecific competition is a potent force in the organic evolution, and competition occurs when closely related species compete for a same limited resource. Now, how can we avoid competition? Directly, how can we avoid the competition? We can avoid competition by using one methodology that is known as resource partitioning. Now, what is exactly resource partitioning? Resources divide equally. Now, one resource, 2 competitors, let's divide equally. By using this, we can avoid the competition. What is exactly a resource partitioning? Now, this is the plant where yellow color birds having their potential or having their what we can say resource on that particular plant. After some time, some red color large sized bird came, and there is a competition between now yellow bird and red bird. Now they decided that this green color part is going to eaten by that yellow color bird, this red color trunk is eaten by red color bird, and this greenish grass is going to eat by a yellow color bird. Now there is a resource, one resource, they are going to divide a resource in equal half. Due to this, there is no as such competition, and resource is also divided. So this is also a what we can say a easy methodology to adapt into the environment for survival. We can do a resource partitioning. Now, this resource partitioning given by MacArthur on Webler's. So this you have to just remember. Now we are coming towards the third slide, that is known as the parasitism. Now what is parasitism? Many parasites are host specific. Means, for example, corona. Corona is, we can consider as a parasite. Is they are affecting dog, they are affecting any plant, they are affecting cat? No. They are affecting humans. That is host specific. They are affecting only humans, that is host specific. So some parasites are host specific. Now, the main points or the main type of parasites are two types of parasites. Some are ectoparasites, some are endoparasites. Now, if there is some parasite which comes on my hand and they cause a fungal infection here, it means they are attacking on my body surface from outside. This is known as ectoparasite. Now, some parasite going in my digestive system through my food, through my water, then internally they are damaging my body, then it is known as endoparasite. So you understood the concept: ecto outside the surface, endo inside the body, endoparasite and ectoparasite. Now, some example of ectoparasite: lysis on humans, ticks on dog, ectoparasite copepods in many marine fishes, human lysis, cascata, and all those things. Now, what about the endoparasite? The parasite that live inside the host body at a different site, that is the liver, kidney, lungs, RBC, those are known as the endoparasite. Now, the fourth terminology is the commensalism. What is commensalism? Just tell me the symbols of commensalism. I am waiting for your answer. Tell me the symbols of commensalism. You have 30 seconds. Tell me the symbols of commensalism. It is, guys, it is, yes, positive and neutral. What is commensalism? One is positive, one is neutral. The examples of commensalism, first example is orchid growing as epiphyte on mango. If orchids are growing on the mango, it means orchid gets a shelter. What mango tree getting from orchid? Nothing. Zero. Neutral. So, orchid plus mango, zero. Neutral. Second, barnacles growing on the back of hill. Barnacles getting shelter, that is a plus. What whale is getting? Whale is so large. They are not having any benefit from barnacles. That is a neutral. That third example is very, very important to understand. Cattle egrets and grazing cattle. Understood the point? The egrets forge close to where the cattle are grazing. Now there is grasses. In between grasses there are small grasshoppers. But it is not easy to find grasshopper in grasses because of color. That is a camouflage, green. Now, that cattle egrets present nearby the cattle. Now, cattle start walking in between grass. So, due to that walking, there is a movement in the grasses, and due to that movement, the grasshopper came out from this grass. And after they came out, cattle egret easily catch this grasshopper. So in that interaction, cattle get nothing because cattle is walking in their way, but that cattle egret getting benefit in the form of grasshopper. This type of interaction, cattle egret positive, grazing cattle neutral, name as commensalism. Now last example of commensalism is sea anemone and clone fish, sea anemone neutral, sea anemone neutral, and clone fish positive charge. So clone fish get protection from sea anemone, but sea anemone get nothing from clone fish. This kind of interaction due to the tentacles is known as commensalism. Now, lichen, the symbiotic association between algae and fungi is known as lichen, the symbiotic association of algae and fungi. And the association of fungi with higher plant is also known as mycorrhiza. Both are the example of mutualism. Very important topic, mutualism. Both individual get benefited. Both individual get benefited. That is known as mutualism. Now understood. First example of mutualism. Fig tree. What is the example of mutualism? Fig tree and wasp. Now, fig tree. This is the fig tree or fruit of the fig tree. And the small insect are known as wasps. So what is the interaction between fig tree and wasp? Fig tree have to pollinate with the help of wasp only. There is no other pollinator fig tree have. So fig tree required the help of wasp for pollination. Now understood the thing. If wasp pollinate the fig tree, it means fig tree get benefit from wasp. So positive. Now we need a positive charge on wasp also, that insect also. So wasp can lay their egg only in a ovary of fig tree. Now ovary is a location where wasps lay their egg. Wasp egg get nutrition from that particular ovary. So it is dependency of wasp and fig tree. This is known as the mutualism. I am reading this. Fig species is pollinated only by a partner wasp species and no other species. A female wasp pollinate the fig inflorescence while searching for suitable egg laying site in a fruit. The fig offer a wasp some developing seed as a food for the wasp larva. It means if we are eating a fig tree or a fruit of fig tree, anjeer, it means we are a non-vegetarian. Why? Because wasps lay their egg in the ovary and ovary convert into fruit. It means this fruit, fig tree fruit or anjeer, is a non-veg food because it have eggs or a residue of eggs. So if you are eating anjeer, it means you are non-vegetarian, not a vegetarian. Understood the point? It is easy to understand. Just for remember the thing, I am giving you a different concept. Let's talk about another example of the population interaction. Another example of population interaction is the orchid. Orchid and bumblebees or bees. Bumblebees need nectar. So it is given by orchid, and orchid get pollinated by bumblebees while taking the nectar. This is a interaction. Both are getting benefited. Now, this is little bit confusing topic, that is for sexual deceit of Mediterranean orchid. Now, it is also an interaction between bees and orchid plant, but the benefit is different. What plant did? Plant convert their one petal like a female bee or female insect. Now male insect observing from a long distance, yes, there is a female insect, but this is not a female insect. This is a petal which modified like a female insect, but those insects are not that good IQ level like a human being. So they moving towards that petal, which look like a obviously female insect. They start doing sexual intercourse with this petal, and because of this interaction, plant get pollinated. So plant get benefit from the insect, positive charge. We need positive charge on that male insect also. So what is the benefit of that male insect? My question to you. The pseudocouplet. A false couplet formed during this, and this pseudocouplet, due to the pseudocouplet, the desire of male insect is getting completed. This is a benefit, this is a mutualism, and thus kind of thing are present in a plant. This is known as mutualism. We are done with first topic, that is the organism and population. 36 minutes, first topic, population interaction, but very important topic, very important topic. So that's why we took 36 minutes to complete this topic. Now we are coming towards the ecological pyramid, and in an ecological pyramid we are going to discuss about the three types of pyramid: pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, pyramid of energy. Always remember, pyramid of energy. What I am saying, understood the thing? Pyramid of energy is always upright. Now, what is the meaning of that statement? If this is, for example, pyramid, first strata have plant or grasses eaten by deer, herbivores, and thus deer eaten by lion, that is the carnivores. This is the first strata. This is the second strata, and this one is the third trophic level, that is the strata. Now, the energy plant have is due to the photosynthesis. With the help of sunlight. So 100% energy plant have. Some energy lost because of the respiratory losses. So net primary productivity, NPP, still plant have, and this NPP, thus kind of energy, is transferred to the deer. It is available for deer. Now 90% energy in this transfer, 90% energy lost, only 10% energy is getting from this plant to the deer. Now, deer to lion, another 90% loss and only 10% transfer to that lion. It means if there is 10,000 joule energy plant have, 90% lost, only 10% transfer to the deer. It means 9,000 joule lost, only 1,000 joule transfer to the deer, and after that 900 joule loss, only 100 joule transfer to the lion. This is a 10% law. This is a 10% law. Understood? 10% law is followed by only grazing food chain. Detritus food chain is not following 10% law. So only grazing food chain following this 10% law, and the energy in detritus or in grazing, energy is always upright. It means higher energy to the plant. The individual who are depend on a plant is getting only 10% and passing only 10% to the upper tropical level. Understood? Very easy. But now What about, my question is, what about pyramid of number and pyramid of biomass? They are also upright. Mainly they are upright. But there are exceptions. There are exceptions. In an aquatic ecosystem, pyramid of biomass is inverted. Pyramid of biomass is inverted because biomass of zooplankton is very small and the biomass of fish who are going to eat zooplankton is high. So the pyramid of biomass in an aquatic ecosystem is inverted. Now second, is the pyramid of number is inverted in any example? Yes. In a terrestrial ecosystem only. If there is example of one large tree, the 1,000 birds are depend on the large tree and 10,000 parasites are attacking on the 10,000 bird and 1 lakh hyperparasite are attacking on this parasite. So one tree, one banyan tree, 1,000 birds, 10,000 parasite and 1 lakh hyperparasite. This flow is going inverted. So pyramid of number also inverted in some specific example. All three pyramids are upright. Pyramid of energy is always upright. Pyramid of biomass can be upright, can be inverted. Where it is inverted? In an aquatic ecosystem, the example of phytoplankton, zooplankton, small fish, large fish, whale, shark. Pyramid of number is upright, but it can be inverted. Example, one banyan tree having 1,000 birds, on that bird 10,000 parasites are attacking. It's a hypothetical example, not only 10,000 parasites, a large number of parasites attacked on that particular 10,000 bird and 1 lakh hyperparasite. So this is a hierarchy in which pyramid of number is inverted. I hope so you are getting my point. Let's discuss what they are saying. Inverted pyramid of biomass. They are saying a small standing crop of the phytoplankton support a large standing crop of zooplankton. What is standing crop? Standing crop is a biomass present in a particular time in particular area. So phytoplankton have a small biomass as compared to the zooplankton. This is an example of inverted pyramid of number. Now the pyramid of energy is always upright. Some what we can say drawbacks of ecological pyramid, that in an ecological pyramid they are not discussing about an individual who occupy a too tropical level. Like you, me, human, we are also occupy a too tropical level. How? Today, if I am eating a veg food, that aloo baigan sabji, roti, chawal, this kind of thing I am eating. So I am a herbivore, I am a primary consumer. Now, today, I am a primary consumer. Tomorrow, I want to eat a chicken, I want to eat mutton, I want to eat fish. At that condition, grass taken by a chicken, and this chicken I am eating, it means I am occupying third tropical level, third strata, and now I am secondary consumer. If I am eating mutton, I am a secondary consumer. If I am eating fish, I am a secondary consumer. Understood the thing? So in an ecosystem, an individual can be primary consumer, can be a secondary consumer, This is a limitation. This is not explained in a food chain, food web, or ecological pyramid. Another one example they are giving us, a sparrow is a primary. If sparrow is eating a grain of rice or a grain of wheat, it is a primary consumer. And if it is eating a worm, then it is a secondary consumer. So sparrow occupy two strata. This is the limitations of ecological pyramid. I hope so you are getting my point. Pyramid of energy is always upright. This is a very important point. Understood the thing. Those are the limitation that microorganisms are not included into the ecological pyramid and all those things. Two chapters, the important point are done. In the first chapter, we discuss about the population interaction. In second topic, we discuss about the ecological pyramid. Now in third, biodiversity and conservation, because how many minutes are left? Only 14 minutes left. We are discussing about the loss of biodiversity and cause of biodiversity, the evil quadrant. That is the four main reason of loss of biodiversity. You heard in recent time, you heard about that deforestation of Hyderabad for what we can say building of the IT park. If you heard about this example, you can easily relate this topic, that is the habitat loss and fragmentation. Second is over-exploitation, alien species invention and co-extinction. We are going to discuss this topic. Just give me a 1 minute of time. I'm feeling little bit dry throat, so I'm taking a water. Just give me a 30-second or 1 minute. We are going to discuss this topic in detail. Stay tuned. Okay. Now, how many of you are joined the session? Ashwin. Thank you, Ashwin. Sugnathi. Sugnathi, this session is in English because it is for specifically Tamil Nadu. We are delivering it in English for a better understanding. Okay, we are trying to give our best for you. We are trying our best possible effort for you. Now, loss of biodiversity and causes, the four evil quadrant. One is the habitat loss and fragmentation. Assume that if you are sitting in your room or a hall in a home and you are watching a TV show, the one individual knock your door, you go towards the door and open the door and said, yes sir. So he said that I am your relative. He came and sit on sofa. You are giving him them a water, and he drink water and throw this water glass towards your TV and just burst. Now what happened? What you are doing? You are going to beat him, right? So like the same thing we are doing with the animals which is living in the jungles or a forest. What we are doing? We are cutting their tree, we are destroying their home. We are doing the same thing with those animals. That is known as the habitat loss and it is the most important cause of loss of biodiversity. It is the most important cause, habitat loss and fragmentation. Second one is over-exploitation. Over-exploitation. Everything we are doing, expanding the thing very, very rapidly. Alien species invention. If we are living in a particular area and there is one animal like a lion and tiger, we allow them to live with us also, then at that condition we can't survive in the presence of them. That is the alien species, like a alien species. Co-extinction, if two individuals are in a mutual relationship or living together, if one extinct, another one is also extinct. Those are the four reasons. First, habitat loss and fragmentation is the most important cause, for biodiversity loss. Second, tropical rainforest loss. Sometime before, those are the 14% tropical rainforest. Now, it is only 6%. Thousands of hectares of rainforest are being lost within hour. Means in an every hour, we are taking this session from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. In that 1 hour, in a world, thousands of hectares of rainforest being cut. So Amazon rainforest, fragmentation, deforestation for the cultivation of soybean and all this thing, responsible for habitat loss. What we are doing? We are making one road in between a jungle or a forest. And what government think or what people think, by making those over bridges, easily animal can go from this one side of the forest to the another. Is that animal having Google map with them? They can easily find this overbridge? No. So by doing this thing, we are saying that we are a developing country, we are doing, we are making roads and all those things, and because of this, we lost or we fragmented a forest into two parts, and because of this, there are lot of issues arising, like a global warming and all those things. Over-exploitation, sailors, tea cow, passengers, pigeon extinct due to the over-exploitation. Alien species invention cause decline or extinction of the indigenous species. What are the example? On basis of example, there is a question asked in the NEET examination. I am marking this as a hashtag. I am marking this as a hashtag. What is exactly over-exploitation? Understood the concept first. A Nile perk introduced into the Lake Victoria. Now Nile perk, it is present in the Nile river. Now it is introduced into the Lake Victoria, that is present in the Africa only, but East Africa, from South Africa to East Africa. 20 species, more than 20 species of the cichlid fish in the lake extinct because Nile perk start eating them. Understood alien species invention? Second example. Invention weed species like a carrot grasses, that is the Parthenium, lantana, water hyacinth, Ecornia, thus cause damage to our native species. Now, third example, illegal introduction of African catfish. Look at the African catfish. It is looking dangerous, right? And look at the Indian catfish. Now this small, beautiful Indian catfish. And this is a terrible African catfish. We are introducing African catfish into the indigenous river. Now it is an illegal introduction, but this is an alien species for them. They are start to kill a Indian catfish. This is a alien species invent. Co-extinction, if there is a host and parasite, if host is extinct, if corona is depend on human only. If there is no human, no corona. Understood? Go corona. Let's see. Now, biodiversity conservation. There are three type of discussion. We can do related to the protection of forest and biodiversity conservation. My straight away question to you, why you want to conserve a forest? So some of you think that Sir, look, for we are taking food from forest, we are taking good oxygen from forest, we are getting benefit from forest. Due to this, we have to protect the forest. So there are three type of argument, or there are three type of discussion. One discussion, we can call it as a narrowly utilitarian argument. That is, we can say that narrow mind, small thinking. Second is a broadly utilitarian argument, that is a broad-minded people. Now third one is the ethical argument. Third one is the ethics. What is your ethics? What kind of ethics you have in your life? That is the ethical argument. Three type of argument. First argument, narrowly utilitarian argument. First argument, human derived economical benefit. If we are thinking economical benefit from forest, like from nature, we get food, sir. We get food. We get firewood, sir. We are getting fibers. We are getting constructing material. We are providing this material to industry. We are getting amount from industry. Our bank balance is expanding. 25% of drugs, not that drugs. Heroin, ganja, not. Opioid, those are not drugs. I am talking about the drugs like a medicinal drugs. If I are eating paracetamol, this is also drugs. So 25% drugs are derived from a plant. 25,000 species of plant is a medicinal value, have medicinal value. For this, we have to save plants, sir. Now this is a narrow thinking, narrowly utilitarian argument. Now if we are talking about the broadly, sir, we are not protect plant for what we can say for simple food or industrial purpose, for medicine. No, no, sir. We are good people. We are protecting plant for, because we are getting 20% of total oxygen of the earth by plant. We are getting economical services, sir. We are, some plants are pollination, for pollination, what we can see, bees, bumblebees, birds and bats are helpful. So that's why we are protecting species, sir. Not for us, for good oxygen, for our future generation. Sir, main thing is aesthetic beauty, sir. When we go out to means what we can say, to forest or any location which is looking good, which is giving us the peace from our exerted life, or we can say that our busy life, this aesthetic beauty, aesthetic pleasure we are getting from nature. That's why we have to save, sir, plant. This is also known as a broadly utilitarian argument, because we are only thinking about our benefit in that also. But it is not a narrow thinking. Narrow thinking is this. We are getting benefit, that like drugs and all those things, food and all. Here we are thinking about ourselves only. Good oxygen, sir. Economical services, sir. Aesthetic pleasure, sir. We are thinking about ourselves only. But lastly, look at this child. This small girl tried to protect this plant by hugging them, because someone is trying to cut this plant. Is she thinking about the food? Is she thinking about what we can say medicinal value of plant? She know about the pure oxygen and global warming? No. Is she thinking about the aesthetic beauty? No. Because this plant is just present outside her home, she feel connected with this plant. She feel that this plant have some value on that earth because this is present on earth. So every individual on that earth have a specific value. The birds are present around us because earth belong to them also. The plants are present on the earth because earth belongs to them also. Earth is not only belongs to humans. You have to understand this concept. Some chapters are to get score in the NEET exams. and some chapters are to get knowledge, a broad thinking. Those are the argument, ethical argument, that every species has an intrinsic value. We have a moral duty. Everyone, you, me, and everyone have a moral duty to care their well-being. And this is what known as ethical argument. For that purpose, we have to save plant. This is all about biodiversity and conservation. I hope so you understood today's session. Thank you so much for joining. Let's meet on 22nd of April for photosynthesis, respiration, and PGD. Thank you so much. Bye-bye and take care. All the best.